Good morning, students.
Good morning, sir.
Morning,
Okay.
sir.
So, Abhinetri, Abhinetri.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're there, right? Okay. 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 So last class we already discussed about the turbines and all. Okay. So two types of turbines we already discussed in the last class. So today class one more turbines we'll discuss, and the classification of pumps we'll discuss. In the next class we'll discuss about two types of turbines, two types of pumps, whichever is there in your syllabus. So two types of pump is nothing but one is reciprocating pump as well as centrifugal pump. Two types of pump is there in your syllabus. That topic we'll discuss in the next class. Okay. So today's class will discuss about one remaining turbine and classification of pumps. Okay. So this PPT is visible, right? PPT is
Yes,
visible or
sir.
yes. Okay. So last class we already discussed about turbine. So what is turbine? So turbine is a device which is used to convert kinetic energy into mechanical energy. Okay, kinetic energy into mechanical energy. So two types of turbines: impulse turbine as well as reaction turbine. So impulse turbine is nothing but what? Water is directly hitting to the blade. Impulsive force is acting to the blade. Okay, so that is called as impulse turbine. So reaction turbine is nothing but reactive force is acting to the blade. Okay, so water is not directly hitting to the blade, reactive force is acting to the blade. So example for impulse turbine is Pelton wheel. So it is also called as tangential flow turbine. And reaction turbine example is Francis turbine as well as Kaplan turbine. So out of this one turbine we already discussed. So this is impulse turbine, Pelton wheel. It is also called as tangential flow turbine. So here this is penstoke. Penstoke is connected to the dam. So water is coming from the dam and passing through this nozzle. So nozzle function is to reducing the area so that pressure is increases. High pressurized water is come outside from this nozzle and hit to the blade. Because of that, blade is start to rotating. Okay, blade is start to rotating, and this is coupled to the generator. This is this runner is coupled to the shaft. So shaft will be rotate, shaft will be coupled to the generator. With the help of generator we can convert that mechanical energy to electrical energy. Okay, so this is moving of water is nothing but kinetic energy. Okay, so needle valve function is to im, uh, increase or decreasing the pressure. Okay, increase or decreasing the pressure. Okay, so this is called as impulse turbine. Second one is reaction turbine. Reactive force is acting to the blade. Okay, reactive force is acting to the blade, so this is called as reaction turbine. So this is called as guide vanes. Okay, guide guide blade. So it is act as fixed blade. Okay, fixed blade as well as moving blade. Two types of blade is there in the turbine. So fixed blade in a impulse turbine, fixed blade is a nozzle is act as a fixed blade, and moving blade is nothing but bucket type of runner. Okay, that is moving blade. But in Francis turbine, so this guide blade is act as fixed blade, and this runner blade is act as a moving blade. Okay, so then this is casing. So casing, you can observe the area of the casing is goes on decreasing to helps to increase the pressure. Okay, to helps to improve the pressure of water. So next, water is coming. This is connected to the penstoke. Okay, this is connected to the dam. So water is coming from the dam. So medium head of water is required for this Francis turbine. So here blade are vertical direction to the shaft. Vertical direction to the shaft. Okay, vertical direction. So water is entering in radial direction. Radial is nothing but perpendicular to the blade direction. Perpendicular to the blade direction, and leaving in axial direction. So it is also called as mixed flow turbine, entering in radial direction, leaving in axial direction. Okay, so it is also called as mixed flow turbine. So then water is coming here and passing through this guide blade. Okay, so guide blade we can adjust or restrict the flow of area, okay, so that the required pressurized water is entering into the blade. Okay, required pressurized water is entering into the blade, and because of here water is not directly hitting to the blade, so first it is hit to the casing, then reactive force is acting to the blade. Okay, so reactive force is acting to the blade, so velocity will be increased. Okay, because of that velocity, turbine blade is start to rotating, turbine blade is start to rotating. Then once the water is hit in radial direction, then it is leaving in axial direction. Axial is nothing but parallel to the rotation of the shaft direction, parallel to the rotation of the shaft direction, so that is called as axial direction. Okay, so then once the water is hit to the blade, it is start to rotating, runner blade is start to rotating and leaving in axial direction. So okay, so then it is passing through the draft tube. So here you can observe this is the draft tube structure. Okay, so water is discharging through this draft tube, so draft tube area is increases, is nothing but pressure is decreases, so decrease the water, pressurized water is moving to the river. Okay, so here pressure is increases, then it is hit to the blade. Because of that higher high pressure, the turbine blade will be start rotating. So this is coupled to the shaft, this runner blade is coupled to the shaft, shaft is coupled to the generator. With the help of generator you will get the electrical energy, electrical energy. So this is the working principle of Francis turbine. So water is entering in the radial direction, leaving in axial direction. Okay, so radial is nothing but perpendicular to the direction of the shaft. Okay, leaving in axial direction, axial is nothing but parallel to the direction of the shaft. Okay, so this is Francis turbine. Next one is, this is a blade structure of Francis turbine. Next one is Kaplan turbine. So it is also called as propeller turbine. Why? Because the blade design is like this, propeller shape. Okay, so it is also called as propeller turbine, propeller turbine. Okay, so here blades are arranged in horizontal direction to the shaft. Okay, horizontal direction to the shaft. Their vertical direction, blades are in vertical direction, here blades are in horizontal direction. Okay, so horizontal direction, that is the difference between Francis turbine as well as Kaplan turbine. In Kaplan turbine the blades are arranged in horizontal direction, then remaining everything is same. Okay, remaining all structure of Kaplan turbine is same. So it is also called as low head turbine, is nothing but less height level of water is enough to run the turbine blade. To run the turbine blade, less height of water is enough, less height of water is enough to run the turbine blade. So it is also called as low head turbine, low head turbines. Now we'll see the parts of this Kaplan turbine. So this is a casing. So casing is same as of Francis turbine. So here the larger area, and then area is goes on decreases. So that pressure of the water will be increases. Pressure of the water will be increases. Then this is called as guide blades. Okay, guide blades. So what is the function of guide blades? It will guide the flow of water to the turbine blade. Okay, guide the flow of water to the turbine blade. So you can close or open based on the requirement. Okay, you can close or open these guide blades, so it will helps to restrict the flow of water into the turbine blade. It will helps to restrict the flow of water into the turbine blade. Okay, so that based on the requirement you can open or close this blade. Okay, open or close this blade. Okay, so then water is entering into the blade runner. Okay, then it is moving in axial direction, moving in axial direction. Axial is nothing but which direction? Parallel or perpendicular direction to the shaft? Tell me. Axial
Parallel.
direction,
Parallel.
parallel to the direction of
Parallel.
rotation. Okay, parallel to the direction of shaft rotation. Okay, so water is entering in parallel direction of the shaft rotation, then that velocity will be increases. That increased velocity helps to uh, start the rotation of turbine blade. Start the rotation of turbine blade. Okay, so velocity increases is nothing but the speed of the water will be increases. Speed of the water will be increases meter per second. Okay, meter per second. So speed of the water will be increases, so that speed will helps to rotate the turbine blade. Okay, rotate the turbine blade. So then once it is start rotation, then same water will be hits to the blade, then it is leaving in same direction. Is same direction is nothing but axial direction only. Okay, so then water will be discharged through this tube. Okay, so discharge tube. So water is discharged through this discharge tube. So it is also called as draft tube. So draft tube is nothing but the area exit of the draft tube is area is higher. So the function is to decreasing the pressure. Okay, area decreases is nothing but pressure increases. Here area increases is nothing but pressure decreases. Why? Because pressure is equal to force by area. Okay, so area decreases is nothing but pressure increases. Here you can observe the area increases, so that pressure of the water is decreases. Then decreased water is moving to the tail race, is nothing but river. It is moving to the river. So initially the water is coming from the not dam. Okay, so why? Because low head level of water is enough, so that it is coming from the lower level of dam. Okay, lower level of dam. So then water is coming here, then first it is hit to the casing, then it is moving through this guide blades. So here guide blade is act as fixed blade, and this runner blade is act as moving blade. Okay, then it is entering in axial direction, so that pressure of the water will be increases, along with speed of the water is also increases. So then that water is hit to the blade. Because of that, blade is start to rotating. Blade is start to rotating in horizontal direction. Then it is coupled to the shaft. Shaft is coupled to the generator. With the help of generator you will get the electrical energy. Once it is hit to the blade, then it is leaving in same direction. Water is leaving in same direction and moving to the river through this draft tube. Through this draft tube. So this function is to guide blade function is to helps to guide the flow of water. Now can you tell me the what is the main difference between Kaplan turbine as well as Francis turbine? So Francis turbine is a mixed flow turbine. So water is entering in the radial direction and leaving in axial direction. So here water is entering in axial direction, leaving in also same direction, axial direction. So then this low head level of water is enough for to run the turbine blade for Kaplan turbine. For Francis turbine, medium head level of water is required. For impulse turbine, high head level of water is required. Okay, so you just see.
Turbines are suitable for power extraction when water energy is available at low head and high flow rate, which means they are suitable for operation when water is stored in a big reservoir at a relatively shallow altitude. In Kaplan turbine, flow is entered through a spiral casing. Decreasing area of casing makes sure that flow is entered to the central portion, almost at uniform velocity, throughout the perimeter. Water after crossing the guide vanes, passes over the runner. Finally it leaves, through a draft tube. Most important part of Kaplan turbine is its runner. Cross-section of runner blade will have a curved shape. When water flows over it, it will induce a lift force due to airfoil effect. Tangential component of lift force will make the runner rotate. This rotation is transferred to a generator for electricity production. Kaplan turbines are axial flow machines, where absolute velocity of flow is parallel to axis of turbine. Water is precisely made to pass through runner blades, with help of a shroud. Power demand may fluctuate over time. A governing mechanism, which controls position of guide vanes, is used to control water flow rate. This can meet for varying power demand. Blades of Kaplan turbine are designed to operate under a wide range of operating conditions. A rotating blade experiences relative velocity of flow. The fundamental thing in blade design is relative velocity of fluid flow should be at optimum angle of attack at all cross sections. Even though absolute velocity is axial, relative velocity will be inclined depending upon blade velocity. Inclination of relative velocity increases as we move from root to tip due to increasing blade velocity. There should be continuous twist in blade from root to tip so that at every cross section the angle of attack is optimum. With varying flow condition, relative velocity will change drastically. Kaplan turbine blades are adjustable. When flow rate is high, relative velocity of flow will be more axial, so blade should pitch vertically. If flow rate is low, relative velocity of flow is more tangential, so blades are pitched in tangential direction. In short, pitching action of blade makes sure that blade is still an optimum angle of attack, even under varying flow. Apart from controlling the flow rate, guide vanes have got one more function. They help in controlling swirl of flow. If guide vanes were not present, the flow would be highly swirling in nature due to its tangential entry. Such a flow would reduce performance of turbine drastically due to its poor angle of attack. So guide vanes control swirl of flow for optimum angle of attack. Biggest challenge in design of Kaplan turbine is how to overcome problem of cavitation, which causes material erosion and vibration. Cavitation is unavoidable in Kaplan turbine, since in most of the regions, pressure goes very low. But damage due to cavitation can be reduced by using suitable blade material and use of anti-cavitation fin. Draft tube, which transforms dynamic pressure to static pressure due to its increasing area, also helps in reducing cavitation effect.
So I hope all of you understood the method of Kaplan turbine as well as Francis turbine and impulse turbine. So this is here water is entering direction and moving in axial direction, axial downward direction, then hit to the blade and leaving also in same direction. Okay, so this is the working principle of Kaplan turbine. So difference between impulse reaction turbine. So please go through it. It is available in the notes. So all of you got the notes, right? So it is available in Google Classroom. Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So it is there in the Google Classroom. Please go through it. Difference between Francis turbine as Kaplan turbine and impulse turbine and reaction turbine, everything. Okay. So next we'll discuss about the last topic of this module, that is pump. Okay, so pump we'll discuss. So two topics we already discussed. One is boiler as well as turbines. So next last topic of this module is pump. This is small topic, so that I took first the beginning of your class, this module. So next last topic is pump. Okay, so pump is a mechanical devices. Okay, mechanical device which is used to convert mechanical energy to pressure energy or hydraulic energy, pressure energy or hydraulic energy. Okay, so I already told. So pump is a device, so it is used to convert mechanical is nothing but rotation of the impeller, that is nothing but mechanical, convert that mechanical energy to hydraulic energy, pressure energy. Because of that pressure energy we can lift the water upward. So with pump plus motor, two devices required to lift water from lower level to higher level. Okay, so motor will provide convert electrical energy to mechanical energy. Okay, then pump will convert mechanical energy to pressure energy. Because of that pressure energy, water can be lifted from lower level to higher level. With the help of pump itself, you can't lift the water from lower level to higher level. Understood? So next, it can be defined as a machine which converts mechanical energy of a motor or engine into kinetic energy or potential energy and thermal energy. Okay, so pump is a device which is used to convert mechanical energy to hydraulic energy or pressure energy. Okay, next important application of pump you can use in thermal engineering, power plants. Okay, thermal engineering, power plants and all. So and also boilers, compressor, condenser. There you can use. That is nothing but thermal engineering, agriculture and irrigation. So day to day life we are also using that pump. And chemical industry, for some of the chemical reactions are very dangerous. In that situation, we can lift that chemical reaction in with the help of this pump. And municipal water and drainage system, there also they are using pump system. So hydraulic pump is a mechanical source of power that converts mechanical power into hydraulic energy, or is nothing but pressure energy. Okay, so next we'll see the classification of pump. Okay, classification of pump. So these pump apply pressure directly to liquid by reciprocating piston or rotating member. Okay, so main classification is one is positive displacement pump as well as non-positive displacement pump. Okay, so positive displacement pump is also called as hydrostatic pump. Okay, please note that positive displacement pump as well as non-positive displacement pump, these are the main two classification of hydraulic pump. Okay, so positive displacement pump is also called as hydrostatic pump, and non-positive displacement pump is also called as hydrodynamic pump. Okay, so hydrostatic pump is nothing but fixed quantity of fluids are moving from one location to another location. Fixed quantity of fluids. Okay, so example for positive displacement pump is nothing but reciprocating pump. Okay, so reciprocating pump, piston cylinder arrangement. Okay, so here the piston is moving from one place to another place, so fixed quantity is collected, then same quantity of water is moving to the overhead tank. Okay, same quantity of fluids are moving to the overhead tank. So fixed quantity of fluids are moving from one location to another location, that is called as positive displacement pump. Understood? So example for positive displacement pump is reciprocating pump. It is also called as hydrostatic pump. Okay, so next, second classification is hydrodynamic pump. So hydrodynamic pump is nothing but, so variable quantity of fluids are moving from one location to another location, that is called as non-positive displacement pump. It is also called as hydrodynamic pump. Variable quantity is nothing but continuously water is moving from lower level to higher level. There is no fixed quantity, so it may be vary based on the rotation of the impeller. Based on the rotation of the impeller, it will be vary. So water sometime fluctuation in the current, it will be vary of water from moving, so that is called as variable displacement pump. Okay, so non-positive displacement pump, it is also called as hydrodynamic pump. So hydrodynamic pump is nothing but variable quantity of fluids are moving from one location to another location. Any doubt? Positive displacement pump as well as non-positive displacement pump. Positive displacement pump is nothing but a fixed quantity of fluids are moving from one location to another location. Non-positive displacement pump is nothing but variable quantity of fluids are moving from one location to another location. In your syllabus, just a classification is there, so I will give you brief idea about this classification. Okay, so next, the piston pump. So example, so reciprocating pump is further classified into so many categories. So piston pump, plunger pump, as well as bucket pump. So piston pump is further classified into two types: single cylinder as well as double cylinder piston. So piston cylinder arrangement. Okay, piston cylinder arrangement. Single piston pump is further classified into two types: single cylinder as well as double cylinder. So in that single cylinder, further it is classified into two types: single acting as well as double acting. Single acting is nothing but fluids are coming in only one direction in the piston. So double acting is nothing but fluids are coming inlet as well as outlet. two sides. Okay, so in single acting, inlet as well as outlet on one side. Okay, so double acting is nothing but the fluids are coming on both either side of the piston, that is called as double acting. Next one is double cylinder, two cylinder. Here single cylinder, here double cylinder, two cylinder. They are also further classified into single acting as well as double acting. Okay, so next one is plunger pump. Okay, plunger is used to lift the water from lower level to higher level. And bucket pump, it is also called as hand pump. So have you seen anywhere hand pump? So it is available. So in a village and all, hand pump nowadays also they are using hand pumps. Okay, to lift water from lower level to higher level. So these are the main classification of reciprocating pump. Okay, piston pump, plunger pump as well as bucket pump. So we'll see. So what is that piston pump? Okay, piston pump is like this one. Okay, so here piston is using. So if you are applying downward force. Okay, so you are applying downward force. So because of that downward force, water is lifting from lower level to higher level. So that water will be lifting through this wall. Okay, this wall. Okay, so if you apply downward force, water is lifting. That is nothing but piston. So here piston and rod is using to lift water from lower level to higher level. So it is name given as piston pump. Here instead of piston, here plunger is using, so that it is name given as plunger pump. Okay, plunger is nothing but full rod. So plunger is using to lift water from lower level to higher level. So it is name given as plunger pump. This is called as which pump? It is called as hand pump. Okay, hand pump. So this is the hand pump structure. So next, the double acting cylinder. Okay, single acting as well as double acting cylinder. Okay, so we'll see what is that single acting as well as double acting. So this is single acting is nothing but, so water is entering here. Okay, and so that because of that pressure, piston is moving from left side to right side. So returning stroke of this piston with the help of spring. Okay, then water is moving in same port only. Water is moving in exit also in same port only. Inlet as well as exit on same port. Then that is called a single acting cylinder. So water is entering, initially water is entering through this port and applying pressure to the piston, so that piston is moving from left side to right side, and again piston is moving from right side to left side with the help of spring force. Okay, here spring force is not there. So spring force, because of that spring force, the water is moving back exit through this port only. That is called a single acting cylinder. Understood? That is called a single acting cylinder. So now here you can observe the double acting cylinder. So double acting is nothing but, so water is entering here. Okay, so then it will apply force to the piston, so that piston is moving from left side to right side. Okay, left side to right side. Okay, then this is called as single acting. And double acting is nothing but, so water is entering in the right hand side. So then water is it will apply pressure to the piston, so whatever water will be present in the left hand side, that will be moving through this port. So like this. Okay, so this is called as double acting cylinder. Initially water is entering in this port and applying pressure to the piston, so that piston is moving from left side to right side. During that time, whatever water is present in the right hand, that will be act as a exit port, that will be passing out through this exit port. Then in second cycle, water is entering in this in this port, so that it will apply pressure to the piston, so that piston is moving from right side to left side. So at the same time, whatever water is present in the left hand side, that will be moving out through this port. Okay, so this is called as double acting cylinder. So single acting is nothing but, return stroke will be done with the help of spring force. Return force will be done with the help of spring force. That is the difference between single acting as well as double acting. There also further single cylinder is there, double cylinder is there. This is single cylinder. Double cylinder is nothing but two cylinder. Okay, two cylinder arrangement. Next, second main classification of positive displacement pump is rotary pump. Okay, rotary pump. So here also it is also moving, fixed quantity of fluids are moving from one location to another location. So example for rotary pump is gear pump, vane pump, and screw pump. Gear pump, vane pump, as well as screw pump. This explanation and all is not required, just for the information I am giving. Okay, so just the classification is enough. Reciprocating pump, in that piston pump, plunger pump, bucket pump. So piston pump, single cylinder, double cylinder, like that. Okay, just classification is enough. This diagram and all is not there in your syllabus. This is also not there, just for the information I am giving. So how double acting cylinder will works, that's purpose I am explaining here. Okay, next the rotary pump. This three classification is enough. This three classification. So explanation of this classification and all is not required. Okay, it is not there in your syllabus also. It is not there in your notes also. Okay, just for the information I'm explaining. So first one is gear pump. So this is the gear arrangement. Gear arrangement. Okay, so two spur gear are using. Okay, two spur gear. Spur gear is nothing but the teeth are parallel to the shaft. The teeth are parallel to the shaft, that is called a spur gear. Okay, so two spur gear, so one is driver and one is driven gear. So two gears are rotating. Okay, so then what happened, while rotating this gear, vacuum is created. So because of that vacuum, so water is moving from lower level to higher level. Because of that vacuum, it will suck the water from the uh, inlet. Okay, then it will push the water throughout the circumference of the gear. Okay, throughout the circumference of the gear. Then because of that, pressure energy will be built up. Because of that pressure energy, water is moving to the outlet with high pressure. Okay, with a high pressure, water is moving to outlet. So this is the working principle of gear pump. Understood? Understood or not?
Understood, sir.
Okay. So gear pump. So two gears are using. One is act as driver, one is act as driven. Okay. So driver gear is nothing but it is connected to the motor. So driven gear is nothing but the driven gear will be rotated with the help of this driver gear. This engagement, with the help of this engagement, this driven gear will be rotate. Okay. So both are externally meshed with each other so that rotate in opposite direction. Both are rotating in opposite direction. Okay, so this is called as gear pump. So initially this driver gear will be rotate so that suction pressure will be developed, so that it will suck the water from the inlet. Then it will water is moving through this gear, so it will push the water to the outlet, so that pressure will be built up. Then high pressurized water is moving through this outlet. Okay, so this is gear pump. Next one is vane pump. So vane arrangement is given. So here slots are provided. This is called as vanes. Okay, this is called as vanes. So vanes are moving the piston cylinder arrange here. Vanes are there. Okay, vanes are attached to the spring. So here you can't see. Okay, so then this is called as rotor. Okay, this is called as rotor, and this is outer portion is called as stationer. So stator is a stationary part and rotor is continuously rotating part. Along with this rotation, this vanes are also rotate. Vanes are also rotate. Okay, vanes are moving inside through these slots. Okay, through the rotor slot, vanes are moving inside, so it will develop the vacuum. Okay, vacuum pressure. Because of that, water will be suction take place. Water will be suction take place. Here you can observe, so gap is very less, so that pressure is, so here goes on increasing, area goes on increases, so that what happened, pressure is goes on decreases, pressure is goes on decreases. Then here further area is goes on decreases, so that pressure is increases. Then the water is moving through the outlet. So high pressurized water is moving outside. So this explanation and all is not required, just so that I briefly explain this one. Okay, so this is called as vane pump. Okay, this is called as vane pump. So stationary as well as rotor is continuously rotate. So and a rotor is having number of slots. So through these slots the vanes are inserted. So vanes will moving inside as well as outside, with the help of this stationary part. So it will helps to uh, create vacuum pressure, so that area increases, so that water is suction take place here, and here goes on area, it goes on decreases, so that pressure is increases, then high pressurized water is moving outlet. Okay, high pressurized water are moving outside. Okay, so here the center of the stationary as well as rotor are different. Stationary part as well as rotary part centers are different, so that, so it is in one end, this rotor part is in one end, it is continuously rotate this rotor with the help of motor. This is called as vane pump. Next one is screw pump. Okay, this is screw arrangement. It is also same thing, one is act as driver and one is act as driven. Okay, so screws are engaged with each other. Okay, so driver will be continuously rotate. Okay, so it is engaged with the driven gear, so that both gears are rotating simultaneously, so suction take place, because initially vacuum take place, so because of that vacuum pressure, suction of water take place, then water is coming through these gears and leaving in another end of the gear. So this is the screw pump. So these are the three. Positive displacement pump is nothing but fixed quantity of fluids are moving from one location to another location, one location to another location. So rotary pump, three types: gear pump, vane pump, as well as screw pump. Next one is, next second classification is rotodynamic pump. It is also called as hydraulic pump. I already told. So what is that hydrodynamic pump? So variable quantity of fluids are moving from one location to another location. So that is called as a rotodynamic pump or hydrodynamic pump. Okay. So example for rotodynamic pump is a centrifugal pump. Okay, so further it is classified into two types: centrifugal pump, single stage as well as multi-stage. Okay, so next the propeller axial flow pump, propeller pump. Next the mixed pump, mixed flow pump. Then other two types of pump is jet pump as well as airlift pump. Okay, so these are the classification, main classification of pump. So two types of pump, what are those? Positive displacement pump as well as non-positive displacement pump. So under positive displacement pump, reciprocating pump as well as rotary pump, these are the two main category under positive displacement pump. So reciprocating pump, it is further classified into so many category: piston pump and uh, plunger pump, this hand pump and all. And single piston pump is further classified into two more categories: single acting as well as double acting. Okay, then rotary pump, screw pump, vane pump, as well as gear pump. This is positive displacement pump. And non-positive displacement pump, rotodynamic pump, is classified in like this: centrifugal pump, single stage and multi-stage, and propeller pump, mixed flow pump. Okay, and other two types of pump is jet pump as well as airlift pump. Next, further classification of centrifugal pump. Okay, so now we'll see the classification of centrifugal pump. So till now we seen that classification of pump. Okay, now we'll see the classification of centrifugal pump. So based on the working head, so head is nothing but level of water in the dam. Okay, so or reservoir. Okay, so low head pump up to 15-meter height. Medium head pump is nothing but the height level range from 16-meter to 40-meter, and high head pump is nothing but the height level of water above 40-meter. Okay, so next, based on the number of stages, single stage pump as well as multi-stage pump. Single stage is nothing but only one stage is used to lift water from one location to another location. Multi-stage is nothing but number of stages are using. Stages is nothing but so suction pipe, number of suction pipe are using, and delivery pipe is same. Okay, so based on the type of casing, casing is nothing but outside part of the outside part. You already seen in turbine blades the casing outside part of the turbine. So similarly here in pump also, casing part is used to protect the pump part, impeller and all. So next here three types: volute casing pump, vortex casing pump, and diffusion pump. So that is not there in your syllabus. Just for the information I am giving, this volute casing is nothing but there is restriction in flow. Okay, so it will helps to increase the pressure, and vortex flow is further increasing. So two types of circle is there. Okay, so one circle is same as a volute casing, and second circle is fixed circle. So that will helps to improve the pressure energy. Okay, so like that. Next, based on the direction of the flow through impeller, radial flow pump, radial is nothing but the water is entering in a perpendicular direction. So axial flow pump is nothing but parallel direction, water is entering and leaving in axial direction. So mixed flow is nothing but water is entering in perpendicular direction, leaving in axial direction. That is called as mixed flow pump. So this is the principal operation of a jet engine. Okay, jet engine, it is work like this. So it is mainly jet engine is used in a jet pump is used in a jet engine. Okay, jet engine. So there this type of engine are using. Okay. Okay, so classification finish. Next, the terminologies of pump. These are the terminology. Next terminology we'll see in the next class. Okay, so today's class will discuss about what are the topics. What are the topics today discussed? And tell me. One is turbine, Kaplan turbine discuss, and classification of pump. Okay, definition of pump as well as classification of pump we discuss. So classification of pump, two types: reciprocating pump as well as positive displacement pump as well as non-positive displacement pump. Okay, so what is that? Positive displacement pump is nothing but fixed quantity of fluids are moving from one location to another location. Okay, so non-positive displacement pump is nothing but variable quantity of fluids are moving from one location to another location. Example for fixed positive displacement pump is, one is reciprocating pump as well as the rotary pump. Okay, so reciprocating pump is further classified into piston pump, so plunger pump as well as bucket pump. Piston pump is further classified into single cylinder as well as double cylinder. Okay, and rotary pump, uh, gear pump, vane pump as well as screw pump. This is the classification of positive displacement pump. Gear, this is gear pump, and vane pump, and this is screw pump. And rotodynamic pump, it is also called as hydrodynamic pump. So variable quantity of fluids are moving from one location to another location. So example for rotodynamic is a centrifugal pump, single stage as well as multi-stage, propeller, axial flow pump, and mixed flow pump. Okay, and other type jet pump as well as airlift pump. And classification of centrifugal pump, based on the working head, we classified into three types, and based on the number of stages, single stage as well as multi-stage, and based on the type of casing, so volute casing, vortex casing, and diffusion casing. So that is actually good thing, that is casing good topic actually. So but it is not there in your syllabus, so that I will not explain it here. Okay, so if you are interested, you come to my you can ask personally. Okay, you can ask personally, I will inform you. Okay, so based on the direction of the flow through the impeller, radial flow, axial flow, and mixed flow. Radial is nothing but the water is entering and leaving in perpendicular direction of the blade or shaft. Okay, and axial flow is nothing but parallel direction of the shaft. Mixed flow is nothing but entering in radial direction, leaving in axial direction. Okay, so this is the engine. Okay, so jet pump. Okay, which is used in jet engine. I hope all of you understood the different types and all. Okay, so any doubt till here? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, so please all of you go through it. Okay, so and all of you take down the first assignment question. So you should write in 100-page book. Okay, maintain 100-page book. In the beginning of the class itself I told, so two book you should maintain, one for classwork as well as second one is assignment book. So please maintain two books. Okay, so and in assignment book you just take down the question. So I will tell you now. So one is draw a neat sketch of Babcock and Wilcox boiler. Just a sketch is enough. Okay, first question. Draw a neat sketch of Babcock and Wilcox boiler. Just a sketch is enough. Second question. Draw a neat sketch of Lancashire boiler. Draw a neat sketch of Lancashire boiler. So next, explain with a neat sketch of Kaplan turbine. Explain with a neat sketch of Kaplan turbine. 3 question. So when you are submitting, tell me one date. So only 3 question. All of you taken, right? Question.
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell me one date. Tell me. Okay, so before 31st of this month, you should submit. Okay, before 31st of this month, you should submit. So 31st is nothing but this Sunday. Okay, 31st is the last date to submit. Okay, so please, very 3 question itself. One is diagram. So Babcock and Wilcox boiler diagram. So and Lancashire boiler diagram and Kaplan turbine with the explanation. Okay, Kaplan turbine with the explanation. Total 3 question. Submit uh, on or before 31st. Okay, on or before 31st of this month. Okay, so it carries marks also. Okay, submit in Google Classroom. Okay, submit in Google Classroom. If you not having book, you can write in sheet also, no problem. And please maintain that sheet, it is required for the documentation. Okay, okay, we'll continue in the next class. Thank you, have a nice day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Thank you, sir.